My fiancée dropped the bomb one evening while I was finishing the dishes. She was fidgeting with a tea towel, wearing that fake deep expression she always used when she was about to ask for something insane but wanted to sound spiritually enlightened. "Babe," she started, voice syrupy soft, "we need to talk." I dried my hands and leaned against the counter. "Shoot. It's about Ethan. The ex. 5 years together. The guy whose name still popped up in every second story she told. I'd always known he was the hairline fracture in our foundation. I just didn't expect her to hand me the sledgehammer." She took a dramatic breath. "I can't walk down the aisle with any unfinished business." He messaged me. "We both feel we need one final meeting, proper closure. So I can start our marriage with a completely clean slate." I raised an eyebrow. "And what exactly does proper closure involve?" "Just a weekend," she said quickly, eyes shining with rehearsed sincerity. "We'd go back to that little lakeside town we used to love, talk everything through, say a real goodbye, and then I come home free of any ghosts. It's honestly for us, for our future." Translation: she wanted my blessing to spend 2 nights screwing her ex in a romantic cabin and call it therapy. Most guys would have exploded. I didn't. I'm a structural engineer by trade. When I see a building about to collapse, I don't scream. I calculate the safest way to bring it down without hurting innocent bystanders. So I smiled the calmest, most supportive smile I could manufacture. "If that's what you need to feel completely ready for me, then go. I want you to have peace." Her whole body relaxed like she'd just been holding her breath for weeks. She actually hugged me, squealing, "I knew you'd get it. You're amazing." I hugged her back while mentally signing the death certificate of our relationship. She left that Friday morning, practically skipping to her packed car, promising to call every night. The second her taillights disappeared, the demolition began. Phase 1 money. We had a joint wedding fund I'd funded about 80% of. I went to the bank, didn't close the account, that would ping her phone, just quietly removed my name and transferred every penny I'd contributed to a new account in only my name. Paperwork timed to process late Friday. Phase 2. Vendors. I called every supplier with the same story. "Personal plans are uncertain, but my company is hosting a large charity gala in 4 months, and we'd love to lock you in now." Paid small retainers to shift every booking to a fake corporate event. Deposits stayed put, cancellation fees avoided, everything legally airtight. Phase 3. Evidence. Hired a PI named Marco, ex-cop, zero sense of humor, excellent zoom lens. Gave him Ethan's details and the town name. Told him I wanted date and time-stamped proof of whatever closure looked like. Phase 4. The house. My house, my deed. Lawyer drafted a bulletproof 30-day eviction notice for an unlicensed occupant. Boxes, tape, and labels were purchased that same afternoon. Friday and Saturday, I played the perfect fiancé on the phone. "Take all the time you need, babe. I just want you happy," while Marco sent me a steady stream of photos. Them checking in, fingers laced. Them feeding each other dessert at a Camelot restaurant. Them making out in the outdoor hot tub, steam rising around them. Room service receipt. 2 bottles of Veuve, chocolate-covered strawberries, couples massage at 8 p.m. Sunday morning I packed every trace of her. Shoes, makeup, half-read novels, that stupid scented candle she loved, into neatly labeled boxes and stacked them in the garage like a monument to bad decisions. She rolled in at 6:15 p.m., glowing, hair tousled in that deliberate post-sex way, chirping about how healing the weekend had been. I was sitting on the porch swing with a glass of sweet tea. "Welcome home," I said warmly. She bounded up the steps for a hug. I stepped aside and handed her 2 envelopes. One was the eviction notice. The second was the formal dissolution of engagement. Her face went through every stage of grief in 8 seconds flat. "This some kind of sick prank?" she whispered. I pulled out my phone, opened the hottest hot tub photo, and held it up. "Tell me again how you spent the weekend talking." She went ghost white. Started with the classic, "It isn't what it looks like," then, "You're violating my privacy," then straight to screaming. I walked inside, locked the door, and turned off the porch light while she pounded and sobbed on the other side. The next week was a circus. She moved back with her parents. The calls came in waves. Her crying. Her mother calling me abusive. Her father threatening to sue me for emotional damages. I forwarded everything to my lawyer and went about my life. They made one fatal mistake. They decided to go ahead with the lavish bridal shower the following Saturday. I guess they thought public pressure would force me to cave and work things out. They even sent me a text. Everyone expects you to be there. Don't embarrass yourself. I RSVP'd to exactly no one. Instead, I called the event coordinator I knew from work, told her I had prepared a very special surprise video montage for my bride, and asked if they could set up the projector. She thought it was the sweetest thing ever. Saturday arrived. 75 guests, ice sculptures, champagne towers, the whole over-the-top production. Olivia sat at the head table in a white dress, fake smile glued on, waiting for me to walk in and beg forgiveness on one knee. Her mother gave a 10-minute speech about love, forgiveness, and working through hard moments, dabbing her eyes that weren't even wet. Lights dimmed. Screen lowered. Soft piano music started. First slide. A beautiful photo of Olivia and me on the night I proposed. Guests odd. Second slide. Black background. Single word in white. Closure. Third slide. Olivia and Ethan, full tongue, in the hot tub. The room went dead silent except for a few sharp inhales. Slide after slide after slide, each one worse than the last. Candlelit kisses. Hands under restaurant tables. The room service receipt blown up large enough to read every line item. Her mother lunged for the DJ booth. The tech I'd paid $600 cash just shrugged and let it roll. When the final black screen appeared, you could have heard a pin drop. Then someone in the back row let out an involuntary snort of laughter, and the dam broke. People grabbed their purses and bolted. No one comforted the bride. No one even made eye contact. I watched from the clubhouse bar with a bourbon in hand as guests streamed past me toward the parking lot. Olivia stumbled out 10 minutes later, mascara rivers down her face, supported by her mother and maid of honor. She saw me through the glass, locked eyes, and for a second I thought she might charge. Instead, she just screamed something I couldn't hear through the window. I raised my glass in a small salute and walked to my car. Aftermath. Word spread like wildfire. The slideshow story became local legend. Vendor deposits were lost forever. Her parents were out tens of thousands for a party that ended in mass walkout. Ethan's wife got the hot tub photo from a mutual friend the very next day and immediately lawyered up. Last I heard, Olivia's living in a studio apartment downtown, working retail. Her mother no longer speaks to her in public. Most of her friends deleted her from social media the same weekend. Me? I kept the ring, it was a family heirloom, sold it, and took myself on a very peaceful solo trip to Iceland. Sometimes closure looks like a weekend in the mountains. Sometimes it looks like a projector screen and 75 witnesses. Either way, the foundation was rotten. I just made sure the collapse was controlled, complete, and unforgettable. I never planned on keeping tabs on her. I really didn't. But in a city this size, gossip has a way of its own gravity. It started with a random text from an old college buddy who'd been invited to the shower. Dude, your legend status is now permanent. Olivia just got fired from the boutique on 5th. Apparently, she had a meltdown in front of customers when someone recognized her from the video. Then came the LinkedIn notification. She tried to add me, of all people. Profile picture. A black and white selfie, heavy filter, caption, finding my light again. I didn't accept. A month later, I was at a networking happy hour when a woman I barely knew sidled up and whispered, "You're the slideshow guy, right?" My sister was there. She still brings it up at Christmas. Iconic. I just smiled and changed the subject. The real kicker came in October. I was walking out of the grocery store on a Saturday morning when I saw her. She was loading bags into the trunk of a dented 10-year-old Civic, hair pulled back in a messy knot. No makeup, wearing the same yoga pants I'd packed into box number 7 6 months earlier. She looked small. Not broken, exactly. Just diminished. She spotted me at the exact same moment. Froze. Grocery bag still in her hands. For a second, the parking lot noise disappeared. Just cicadas and the thud of my own heartbeat. I gave her the same small, polite nod I'd given the day I drove away from the country club. She didn't scream this time. Didn't glare. She just looked down at the asphalt, set the bag in the trunk, and closed it very gently. Then she got in the car and drove off without a word. That was the last time I saw her in person. But the ripples kept coming. Ethan's wife took the house, the dog, and 60% of his retirement. He's living in a studio above his cousin's garage and selling insurance now. Olivia's mother had to downsize. The McMansion went on the market in November. Rumor is the bridal shower fiasco tanked her social standing so hard no one would co-host charity luncheons with her anymore. Jessica, the maid of honor, quietly unfollowed everyone connected to the wedding on every platform and moved to Charlotte. Word is she tells people she barely knew Olivia. As for me, I finished the lake house I'd been designing in my head for years. Bought 10 quiet acres 2 hours north of the week the ring money cleared. It's all glass and cedar and silence. I go up most weekends, fish at dawn, drink coffee on the dock, and never once think about champagne and strawberries. Some nights I sit on the porch and scroll through the handful of photos I kept, not of her, of the resort itself. The Whispering Pines Inn went viral for all the wrong reasons after the shower. Bookings dropped 70%. They rebranded last month to Pine Haven Retreat and painted everything gray. Still empty. Funny how one weekend can change so many lives. People keep asking if I'm angry anymore. I'm not. Anger is heat. Heat dissipates. What I feel now is closer to the satisfaction you get when a condemned building finally comes down exactly according to plan. No extra casualties, no lingering hazards. Just clean earth where something rotten used to stand. And if, on very quiet nights, I pour a small glass of bourbon and toast the stars with a single word. Closure. I think we can all agree I finally got mine. The foundation is solid now. And this time, I checked every single inch of it myself.